Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stevecast episode 6. Fuck, I don't know. Matt, fix the episode number in post because I don't know where we're at.
Okay.
I am Steve. Here with me in Lincoln, Nebraska is Matt.
Hi, I am here. Can't wait to watch a Wild Eye releasing film. Those were
Yeah,
always great.
yeah. I've watched tons from this production company. And also joining us, special guest host, giving our friend Rachel a much-needed break from the reality of the world, Mr. Ronin.
Yes, we're going to once again form the trifecta, coming together to create some awful, horrible, troll-like form of a Voltron robot.
Yeah, last night, at the time of this recording, last night, the three of us got together and recorded an episode of Two Matts, One Steve, and it was terrible. We solved nothing. We talked about nothing of value. We'll see if maybe this high quality cinema that we're going to be watching today can bring us back.
I
Speaking
feel
of
like
which,
it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, when
It
have we
wasn't
ever
that bad.
solved anything on
it
Two Matts,
was
One
it was
Steve?
pretty shitty. No, that was a shitty episode.
It's our Obi-Wan episode, everyone. You can go listen to that.
Yeah, it's our commentary about Obi-Wan is at least as good as Obi-Wan. So, for what it's worth. So the last few episodes of Stevecast, we've watched some rough movies. None of them have been entertaining whatsoever. We watched an alien movie, hot garbage. We watched two ninja movies, one of which you will have no idea that we ever watched. Absolute garbage.
Yep.
We watched a Cynthia Rothrock movie, and Cynthia Rothrock is awesome. However, we let our dear friend Jeff select the Cynthia Rothrock movie that we reviewed, and he picked the worst one possible. So we are on a pretty big losing streak. So I'm hoping that we can bring Stevecast back to its roots. The best episodes of Stevecast are ones where we have reviewed or we watched a movie about killer dolls or toys or puppets or something. And so hopefully to get the terrible ninja movie taste out of our mouth, we are watching a film called Doll Factory. I know nothing whatsoever about this movie other than there's a factory and dolls and they curse and Texas teens, according to Matt.
That's according to the synopsis.
Texas teens?
Yes. Now, I was reading the synopsis. I'm like, why would they put the qualifier Texas teens? Why not just teens in a doll factory? Why would you have to describe it as specifically related to Texas? Ronan, you're from the South. Like, what do you think of when you see it labeled as Texas teens in a doll factory?
Dead children.
Well, that's what Steve would think. I honestly don't know what I would think. Maybe my first thought would be like, oh well, this must be some kind of a porn troupe or something like that. They're just called the Texas Teens. Maybe some teeny bopper group or something. I don't fucking know. I'm an
All
old
right.
man, damn it.
Everyone open up your incognito windows and type in Texas teen porn, and we'll see if it's also made by a Wide Eye Releasing Media or whatever the hell this production company's called.
Wild Eye releasing. Wild Eye is notorious for putting out the worst of the worst. And I think it was great because Steve picked, hey, look at this doll movie. Let's get back to our roots. And he literally picked a doll movie from the worst company, the most notorious company for putting out trash. And I can't wait. This should be fun.
I've never heard of Wild Eye before. So, like, what's your experience with Wild Eye Releasing?
Oh, we've done, I think they put out should I say his name? I'll bleep it out. Films.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
Yep. So they put out films. We got a bunch of screeners from them, and they were just garbage. I mean, they just put out everything, like literally anything.
These are the times where I need my friends to help influence me and make better decisions. And so Matt, knowing this, has just let me, continue to push for a month now. We're going to watch this terrible movie.
No. I didn't know it was. No. I did not know it was Wild Eye until I brought it up today. So don't blame this on me. I didn't do any pre-research to try to figure out who it was. I just happened to see when I have it on second one of Tubi here, it says Wild Eye releasing, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Well, I am an American, so I reject your reality and substitute it with my own. And in my reality, you are at fault here.
Yes. I don't believe this is canon. I believe that this is a different form of canon.
Now, I want to ask Ronin. Ronin, how familiar are you with killer toy movies?
I'm aware of like the Puppet Master movies. I've heard you all go into great length about those killer puppets, and yeah, Chucky, I suppose. But that's it. Yeah, that's all I got in terms of toys that kill.
Did
For a
you ever actually
second,
watch any Puppet Master movies?
No, no, no. I'm not
Oh.
crazy.
for a second, I thought you said puppet bastard. And I was like, that's a completely different thing. Where's Puppet Bastard? We need to make that film.
I piqued your interest. You were like, "What's this?" Ronan's just informed me of a
Are
brand
you
new,
dropping some puppet deep lore on me that I haven't heard of before?
Wouldn't that be amazing if Ronin just goes into all these deep cuts on puppet movies? We find out that he's actually like just a closet incredible fan of killer puppet movies, and we're just like schooled. That would have been incredible.
So I googled puppet bastard to see what the first hit was, and the first hit is someone's Twitter account called Puppet Bastard, and the text just says "fucking egg salad, boys." I don't know it. Fucking egg salad, boys.
Okay,
I don't know what
okay. What do we,
it's probably gonna be better than anything that we see in this film.
let's ask Ronin, our guest here. Ronin, you're looking at a movie here. It's called Doll Factory. What do you think the plot of this is? Well, like, where are we going? Give us your opinion on what you expect to see in Doll Factory.
Well, I'm looking at the cover alone, which has, for people our age, this is how you choose movies. You go through the store, you look at the cover, and you say, "Okay, this looks good." So, I'm looking at it now. Doll Factory. The logo itself is reminiscent of Saw, so that's not a good sign. And here we have the same horrible pig-faced, fat child mask photoshopped onto several. I'm going to assume, based on this, that these are going to be dolls that make some form of human doll out of other people.
Okay, that's good. Do you think that the dolls in this are going to look anything like the dolls on the cover of the DVD? Because I don't think they will.
More than likely, no. It's going to be some real rough approximation of that. Like that's what they want it to look like, and maybe they have one that looks like that, but there's not going to be like dozens and dozens of them that look that good.
So Matt,
Okay.
when was the last time that you watched a killer doll, toy, or puppet movie that wasn't Full Moon?
Oh, that's a good question.
So I
Well,
asked it.
I did watch a few episodes of that new Chucky television series, so I guess maybe that would count because that's not Full Moon. So I did watch that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you when the last time I watched something was. I will say that my like kind of barometer for if I will say that any part of this is quality is whether or not I will see like fully animated puppets. Full Moon got real fucking lazy in their most recent movies over the last like 10, 15 years. And there's a lot of times where you'll see a puppet's arms move and maybe its face turn, but when it's time for the puppets to walk anywhere, it's a shot from like the puppet's waist up, and it's very clear that they're just being pulled on a little dolly or track or something because they wouldn't animate the legs anymore.
It's
So I
not
went.
laziness so much as it is they have no money.
I'm gonna go with laziness. I reject your reality and substitute it with my own, where Full Moon is lazy. So
Okay.
that's what I want to see. Wild Eye releasing. Will there be fully animated puppets, or am I just going to get a lot of like, here's a still shot of a puppet, and then someone's clearly like holding the puppet up to their neck while it bites them, a la Demon Child 666?
This is directed by a guy named Stephen Wolf. He also wrote it. I did provide Steve with his Twitter handle, so
Yes.
we should be able to get hopefully somebody to finally respond to the Stevecast. Ronan, every time we do one of these, we find a Twitter handle of somebody involved in the production. We send them messages throughout the course of this, ask them various things, and no one has ever responded. So I'm hoping that Stephen Wolf will be the first
Yeah,
one to
we'll see.
respond.
Mr.
612
Wolf.
tweets as of right now, 321 followers. Yeah, this guy's probably dying. He doesn't like dying for attention. He doesn't even have the blue
I was
check.
like, how would you know he's dying?
A few episodes we were tweeting someone that probably did die.
Yeah, this guy doesn't even have a blue check, so he's probably dying for attention.
Well, we'll
This is
find out.
also on his Twitter page. The banner up top is for Doll Factory, so I would assume this is the film that he is. It's either his only film or the film that he is most proud of, one or the other.
It could be both.
Well, okay, here, Steve, tweet him right now. Say, is Doll Factory the best representation of your work as a writer-director? And see if he responds.
I'm gonna put writer and director in quotes.
Starting off hot.
Oh, give them both barrels.
Okay, so anybody who, while Steve is doing that, I will let anybody know, of course, we watch these on Tubi. So if you are interested in this, what you can do is you can just fire up Tubi as of June 26, 2022. This is on Tubi. And you can sort of play this show and follow along as we go through and watch 15 minutes of Doll Factory in segments, come back, talk about them, and you know, contemplate what we're really doing with our lives. Honestly, I mean, we could do anything better. We could be doing something productive to society at this very moment, and yet we choose not to. We choose to watch.
To be
Doll
fair,
Factory.
no one else is doing anything to better society either right now.
No, yeah, that ship is sailed. There is no more doing better for society.
Okay, so it's just hanging out with friends and trying to survive the darkness. I'm down with that. I can do that. Are we ready?
I
Did you
am
tweet him?
ready. I did. I said, hey, we're about to hit play. Is Doll Factory the best representation of your work? And we'll see what happens. Ronin, we watch this in 15-minute increments. So when the timer said 15 minutes, pause, and then we will meet again and chat. And I think that's all you need to know about the train wreck that we're about to witness.
Yeah, I suppose.
Can we have a little bit more enthusiasm from Memphis, please? Come on. now.
No, you cannot.
No.
All right, everybody, we're going to start Doll Factory in 3, 2, 1, play.
I was like, no, Grandma, I don't have any one-size-fits-all condoms.
And this band is awesome, huh?
Fuck you, Steve. This is already one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Which one of you is responsible for this?
Matt, I told you in my reality, Matt picked this.
It is not me, Ronan. I had nothing to do with this. And I'm happy that Rachel's not here. I really am, because I think
This
she
would
would
be
have just
rough.
she would have just bounced.
This would've been
Explain
rough.
yourself. Yeah, explain yourself, Steve.
How about I just explain the movie?
God.
The movie is what would happen if Frank and I made a movie, actually wrote a script. That's what this would be. There's your synopsis.
I mean, that's not inaccurate. Anyways, all right. The movie starts in Halloween in the late 70s, 76, 77. I didn't pay attention to the actual year. But inside, you've got two redneck hillbilly cops shooting things with guns like you do. And in the background, there is a man who looks like a stereotype reading what I assume is the Necronoma puppet. And part of the incantations that he's reading involve buckets of chicken. I'm not going to comment any more on this character from this point forward.
I cannot believe. As soon as I saw, I'm like, politically incorrect comedy. I guess we'll say that.
And I am not going to say anything else about it because I want to have an episode of the goddamn Stevecast that actually makes it to the website. Anyways, they're shooting and they get attacked by dolls. Dolls that look exactly like the cover. Like, the cover did not lie to us. These dolls in like these kind of like dark gray gowns and like big like cherub-like heads and faces jumps on this guy and eats his face and scurries away. And it's already better than a Puppet Master movie because we actually see the doll like skittering away. It's not like
Fucking
a waist
take that
up shot.
back. You
That-
take that back.
That doll is clearly just being
It's something-
pulled on strings.
What are you talking about? Who
What-
are you right now?
I just saw is legitimately more full body puppets moving than I have seen in a full moon movie in a long goddamn time.
I suppose you're technically
It's
correct,
technically
No.
correct. It's correct.
No,
which is the best kind of correct, because
This-
it is a very awful, bad form of marionette.
I don't care.
this is 666 Demon Child territory right here. It's literally just here. Let's move. Let's graze the feet of this puppet across the ground as we hold the strings up off camera. That's what that was.
And that's more than Charles Band has been doing for like the last 15 years.
Lies and slander, friend. I don't even know you right now. Who are you?
Anyways, so the two cops, one cop is dying from having his face eaten off, and the other one, in his last moments, is like basically, hey, like you don't care if I fuck your sister, right? And the cop that's dying is like, no, don't you fucking touch her, I'll cut your dick off. And the other cop is like, no, I get it, no, don't worry, I'll take good care of her. And then it just cuts to the present day where these Texas teenagers are at a party. They're telling like 10-year-old level jokes and making sexual comments. They judge a woman for her appearance, like you do.
This is all within the first 5 minutes, guys.
First 5 minutes. First 5 minutes of this movie, incredibly problematic, as we would say. But then one of the, I haven't figured out like the names of any of these characters. I think
I
one
don't
of
think
them
they
is named
have
Allison.
names.
Yeah, it's just like Halloween Teen 1 and Halloween Teen 2. I mean, it's probably easier to like recognize them by like their outfits. Like one of them is a vampire, one of them is the devil, one of them is the Frankenstein monster,
Witch.
a witch, I don't know, cheerleader. Like what's the blonde with like the pigtails dressed up as? Like nothing.
Enough.
We're cutting 100%. You're not going to hear that comment when you listen to this.
Oh God, this is gonna be a nightmare to edit.
Anyways, so one of the girls, who again, like is she like a female vampire? I don't know. Like the female, the ladies in this movie have very non-distinct outfits compared to the males. It's weird. Anyways, one of these girls sees that, I assume her ex-boyfriend has come to the party, and she's like, I don't want to be here anymore. And so they go, hey, I've got this book, and one of the girls who's dressed like a witch pulls out like the Necronama puppet, and she's like, how about we go to the haunted doll factory and read this and see if we can summon
go to the
spirits?
abandoned factory, you guys.
All right, guys, check this shit out. Found it in my mom's closet.
Yeah, well, she pulls out the Necronomicon because it's got the human face on it, but it just says spells in crayon in big letters on the top of it, and I'm sitting here like, oh my God, what am I doing right now?
So that these kids go to the haunted doll factory to summon spirits with the Necronama puppet. They draw like a pentagram, they put candles up, they join hands in a circle, and the witch girl, who knows all about all of this because her mom is a Wiccan, she
checks out.
starts reading, and we see puppets start waking up. We see this crazy vortex open in the sky above the doll factory. And then I heard Matt dying, and so I rejoined the Zencaster call.
This, we'll toss it to our special guest, Ronin. How do you feel about the first 15 minutes of this movie?
I feel like this movie has touched me in an inappropriate way, and I feel like I should call the authorities.
It's bad. Like, I don't have really anything.
I just took a shower. I'm gonna have to take another one.
Steve, explain yourself.
I'm entertained. I don't know what your problem is.
See, here's the thing. Like, I hate comedies. You guys know I'm just not a fan of comedies, and this is going to be like the worst kind of comedy for me for the next, hour and 15 minutes.
Hey.
And I'm going through pure punishment right now. This is awful.
I gave you the chance to watch Robert the Doll instead of this.
What are you talking about?
You did make us watch Obi-Wan, so this.
This is at least as good as Obi-Wan.
Oh my God,
Obi-Wan and Boba Fett. So this is kind of, sort of.
What pisses me off is I can't even argue that. I'm stuck in hell right now. That's what's happening, and I have so much more to go through.
You only got like 4 more segments. It's fine. You'll make it.
Yeah, just count them down that way.
Okay, guys, will do.
Well, so the puppets have just woken up. Let's see what they get up to. Let's start the next 15 minutes of this movie.
Wait a minute.
And-
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
We can't just start the next 15 minutes. Number one, we gotta decide like what do we think is going to happen in the next 15 minutes. The puppets are alive, and are we going to tweet the director?
I mean, I'm going to tweet him at some point. I want to know what happens in the movie first.
Okay, we'll start in 3, 2,
What
1.
was going through your mind when you wrote the line "When your bitch is in heat"?
Yeah,
Walk me through
ask
the
him
thought
that.
process.
Tweet him that.
Maybe we'll see.
Or tweet that and just with a quote it and then just put really question mark. Tweet that.
Lick my nuts, bitch.
Let's see, your bitch is in heat, and also maybe my beat off hand.
Oh God. Jeez. Maybe describe to the people watching this like the witch has them all hold hands, and the instant comment from the guy is like, "That's my beat off hand." I'm just like, what?
So they're all supposed to be holding hands to complete a connection, and yet she's only holding hands up to a certain point. With her free hand, she is holding no hand. Thus, the connection is not formed. Thus, I call bullshit on this movie.
Yeah, that's right. The dolls shouldn't be summoned. The whole movie doesn't make any sense.
Point that out to Stephen Wolf. We say we cannot buy the conceit of this movie because they're not all holding
This
hands.
movie is
therefore.
inconsistent with its own rules about doll summoning. I'm going to need you to explain this.
You should have watched some Charles
Here
Band
go.
movies. Learn from the
I'm going
master.
to give it a negative score on IMDb.
Okay, folks. Well, yeah, the next 15 minutes coming up in 3, 2, 1, play.
Did you dirty little slut?
That wasn't very polite, mister.
What the fuck?
A whole lot sure didn't happen, and yet did happen.
Facialblasters.com, huh? That's what we're watching here, Steve. That's what you got us watching. Is that a real thing? Ronin, check on that for me.
I mean, like you put it in the Discord and no link popped up on it, so I'm going to assume no.
That's got to be a real thing, right?
God damn it, I'll check.
Yeah. Check.
Talk amongst yourselves.
So Ronin, how you feeling about the second 15 minutes of Doll Factory?
There was a dick. All right, and no one seemed to have realized that a dick was chopped off and fell on the ground, and you saw the dick.
I mean, I realized it. I just didn't feel the need to comment on it so strongly.
That's just like no.
Facialblasters.com is not a thing.
Oh, geez, somebody
Yeah.
park that. Somebody
Yeah.
get that domain name.
That's gonna be part of the Outpost Unknown family.
Yeah. Facialblasters.com will just redirect to Outpost Unknown YouTube channel.
Good. Yeah, we'll get Jeff on that. Anyways, let's talk about what happened in this 15 minutes here. Dolls immediately attack. The Wiccan chick gets her feet cut off. Then they hang her, which causes blood to come out of her mouth, and then like her brain and face get ripped out. And she is being sacrificed to the master. These baby dolls go and kill people and collect their souls and feed it to the master, who we have not actually seen yet, but we have seen we have heard the master tell the dolls, I need more. Go and kill for me. Go and collect souls for me.
I gotta have more cowbell.
So the witch chick who read the Necronoma puppet, the guy in the skeleton outfit, and the guy dressed as Satan, I think are all dead now. Their bodies were all collected. So the only people that have survived at this point are basically the guy dressed like a vampire and the girl that I assume is dressed like a vampire. The two people who left, Frankenstein and generic goth cheerleader chick, went off to fuck. They pop up for like 2 seconds where the guy tells her not to talk because he's busy fucking her. So, very, very progressive film that we're watching here.
Yikes.
So the two vampire people, guy and girl, they go to the sheriff's office, and it turns out like the sheriff or the head of the cops or whatever organization this is the the redneck guy from the beginning of the movie that did not get his face eaten off. He gets very upset when these when these two kids mentioned that they were messing around at the doll factory.
It's Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, it's like you went into the house. Don't say his name. Like that. Like that's what they're going for. And the dolls, they also crack wise and yeah. That's what they're going for. They want their dolls to be snarky little characters.
Now that is very Charles Band. I will say that, like the dolls making their jokes and over the top. It reminded me of Baby Oopsie.
Yeah,
Honestly.
definitely.
Very Baby
So
Oopsie.
so this Baby Oopsie ripped this off clearly.
Well,
one
this
came
came out in
first?
2014. But see, Charles Band's been doing this for years. If anything, these guys ripped off Charles Band. Like Doll Graveyard and all that stuff came out in 2001.
I'm saying this movie is still better than some of the Puppet Master films so far.
No. See, you said like you just made a blanket comment on the entire Puppet Master franchise. You didn't say some Puppet Master movies. You just made a blanket comment. That's what I disagreed with you on. And I think you need to take it back. You need to apologize to
I'm
Charles Band right now.
specifically talking about like those later Puppet Master movies, like Curse of Puppet Master, where it's like 90% stock footage and the
You
puppets
didn't
don't
say that,
actually
Steve.
move.
You didn't say that.
It was inferred.
It wasn't. You hurt my
It was
feelings.
absolutely inferred. What I actually said was this is better than a lot of recent Puppet Master, which is true. Absolutely true. Anyways, so these kids get kicked out of the police station, and then we cut to like her ex-boyfriend and his two buddies. They're just driving drunk, trying to find another party. And they hit something in their car. They pull over to the side of the road, and they all get killed. One guy gets his dick cut off, which Ronin was apparently like popped big for. Ronan couldn't stop talking about, oh shit, guys, you see that penis? Wow, that sure was a penis. I would like to call attention to the penis over here. So a guy gets his dick cut off.
That's a dick move, chopping somebody's dick off. All right, that is a dick move. Okay?
That's where Ronan draws the line. It's like you can have as many puppets cutting fucking feet and ripping brains out, but how dare you touch the sacred dick?
Yeah, they can say whatever they want, but it's like you can't go around cutting the dick off. We all know the dick runs shit, all right?
How dare you cut the sacred dick? That needs to go into a line in the movie. How dare you cut the sacred dick?
Well, there you go. In the Loki porn.
Text
parody,
that to what's his fuck. Tweet that to him.
Yeah, tweet that. How dare you cut?
How dare you chop someone's dick off?
Oh God.
So anyways, like all her ex-boyfriend and his buddies are dead. The vampire guy, who I assume is going to be the male lead of this movie,
Mark.
It's the doll apocalypse. These dolls are running around killing people, including their friends. But he decides now it's a good time to let me check my girlfriend's phone to make sure she's not still texting her ex, which she apparently did, and she admits that he hung out with her ex a few weeks ago, but nothing happened. So this guy just can't compartmentalize. Like, he's more upset that his girlfriend's maybe cheating on him than the fact that there are dolls running around killing people. So super intelligent. And then we finish the segment by watching Mark. Is Kay? I think it's Mark and Kay. They return to Kay's home where they find Kay's brother playing the Wii. And she says, I have to use your computer. And she goes to the computer, and it turns up he had facialblasters.com pulled up on the screen. And that's where we're at. Matt was very excited for Facial Blasters.
Oh yeah, domain is not yet taken. So we did actually get nudity. The sex scene, there was no nudity. It was sort of like a shallow depth of field stuff. But we get nudity from the website, I guess.
And what was that website, Matt?
Facialblasters.com.
I'm into this movie. I am extremely entertained by what I am seeing.
I'm not.
This is great. I'm very proud of this pick.
Great.
Doll Factory movie of the year for me so far. Better than Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh God, Ronin, what are your thoughts on this so far?
I hate you all.
Hey man, I'm right there with you. I hate Steve so much right now.
Stop letting me pick movies then. Do we need to talk about what happened the last time you picked?
Hey, we don't. But I will say to this movie is I do appreciate, in all seriousness, I appreciate the fact that they're at least trying to go as gory as they can with no budget with it. So, for example, there is a sequence when in the factory when the dolls, I guess, pull a barbed wire, and then the girl suddenly her legs are cut off when she runs into the barbed wire, and there's quite a bit of blood. There's a lot of blood during the dick cut off scene. There's blood spewing all over the place. I respect that they're trying to at least give people that.
It's exactly what we did when we didn't know how to make movies either.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. It's true.
If you can't tell a good story or anything, you might as well, keep the blood flowing.
You might as well cut off the sacred dick. Anything else that we need to talk about? I'm invested in this film. I want to see what happens next.
Are you?
I am highly entertained.
How do you feel this is gonna end?
I don't know. It's so fucking all over the place right now.
Who's the master? Like, what do we think the master is going to turn out to be? There's got to be a reveal when we find, because all we heard was sort of his off-screen voice. But what is the master going to look like? Is it going to look like a big giant doll? Is it going to be a dude, a demon? Ronin, what do you think? Who's the master?
I got nothing.
All right, Steve, what do you think?
I don't know. They have not dropped any hints as to what the master could possibly look like. Like,
I don't appreciate that condescending laugh there. What do you think?
This movie is building a mystery. We are invested in this.
This is like, Oscar caliber script writing here, keeping us on the edge of our seat, trying to figure out who could the master be. I got nothing else to say. Are we done?
That's right, motherfucker. That's exactly what I thought.
Can we go to the next segment so we get this over as fast as possible?
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Hey, where's the TP at? I'm about to dominate this bathroom.
What's TP?
Toilet paper.
I don't know. Check the cabinet.
It's like I'm babysitting a fucking child.
Can I go home now?
Glad you're liking it. I'm glad you're liking it, Steve.
Ronin is not muting his Zencaster, so all throughout the last 15 minutes, I just hear Ronin making comments about the movie. Alright, super serious right now. Let's talk about the last 15 minutes of Doll Factory, minutes 30 to 45.
Mark still have another half of this movie to go.
Aren't we lucky? I'm having a great time with this. Mark and Kay try to find information about the abandoned doll factory, which they fail. And so they blackmail Kay's brother Melvin, and they make him
epic hacker montage, Steve. That's what it was.
Into I don't know, the city's archives of some sort. And so they find out that
the city's personal archives.
City's personal archives. This guy hacked the city's MySpace, I guess. They find out that the guy from the beginning of the movie who was reading the Necronoma puppet has survived and tried to warn people years ago that something supernatural was going on, and that went nowhere. And so Kay and Mark and Melvin decide, all right, let's go find this guy because we need answers. They get attacked by the dolls within the house, like Gremlin style. They put one in the blender. It
goes full Gremlins.
They put one in a blender. They hit one with a frying pan. They stick one in the oven. This is not really Gremlins-y, but at one point, a doll barfs on Mark and shits on Kay because entertainment. But they leave. They're going to go try to find this guy, and that's kind of all they do during this segment. Of course, Mark is still more upset that his girlfriend hung out with her ex than he is their killer fucking puppets running around. We see the sheriff, who also survived the opening of the movie. He and his deputy go to the doll factory where he relates that years ago in the 50s, the Russian guy, Yegor, Yegor, according to the subtitles of this movie, Yegor went on a killing spree, and somehow that resulted in killer puppets. Don't know yet, but I'm sure the movie will competently explain it later on. And then we see some scenes where Frankenstein monster guy and goth cheerleader, they're done having sex. And so he's got what he wants now. So he immediately starts treating her like shit, which of course makes her swoon over him even more and want
As you
to,
do.
like you do, and prepare for round two. So she says, "I'm going to get ready for round two," and she goes to find her vibrator while this classy gentleman says he's going to go and dominate her toilet.
The bathroom, Steve.
But
Dominate
the bathroom. So anyway, she's out there with her vibe, about to do her thing, but before she gets to use it, a doll crawls into her vagina, which reduces her to a bloody skeleton off screen. Frankenstein guy comes back out, and a puppet jumps through his chest, leaving a hole in him. So they're both dead now. Thank you for coming to the movie. And then the dolls are just hanging out in someone's yard, and two dolls are trying to convince a third doll to go knock on the door of a Halloween party. And they tell the doll, "You can't run away. You just got to knock. You got to knock, and you got to stand there." So the doll goes up to the house, knocks on the door, and then when a drunk woman answers, it's like, "Hello, kind woman. I have come for your soul." And that's where we're at.
So we own facialblasters.com as a domain now.
We do.
So you should tweet that to the director. Let him know. we watched the movie, and now we own facialblasters.com.
I'm tweeting that now.
Hey, this could work out. Maybe some porn company wants that name, and they're going to see that Jeff owns it, and they're like, "We'll give you $500 for this domain name."
I feel like my brain is in a fog right now. Like everything I'm watching, I just despise. I hate. To me, this doesn't have any of the fun charm that a Charles Band puppet movie has. This just feels like really mean-spirited and like maybe it's Rachel rubbing off on me, but so problematic to the point where I'm just like cringing at everything that is said. And
tweeted,
no, sir, I don't like it.
What do you think about that, Mr. Horse?
No, sir, I don't like it. I don't know, Ronin, you're over there in Memphis. We roped you into this. How are you feeling right now?
Well, watching the clearly problematically slutty chick with daddy issues, just get overly turned on by this guy treating her like shit. That just really feels like the thing that Steve had, said, that was going to be edited out earlier on. So,
you can say it feels like Memphis or something like that. I assume this is an accurate portrayal of Texas. Because it's Texas.
Yeah, that's right.
I assume yes.
Where is this? I still don't see this. How this is Texas teens?
Everyone's an idiot, so story checks out.
I suppose.
I think the biggest problem with this movie so far, and I have no idea why you're so into this, Steve, but I'm looking at the segments that we're recording, and they're less than 10 minutes. There's nothing to say about this movie. There's nothing to say. I'm at a loss. It's I want to contribute. I want to add something to a discussion here on each segment, but there's nothing.
This is not that kind of movie, Matt.
I will point out that there are male and female puppets, and the male puppets are sexist towards the female puppets. I think in the last segment there was a joke about one of the female puppets being a bad driver or something. Haha, that's funny, I guess. Nope, still not. I don't know. What do you want to add, Steve?
This movie's awesome. I've been entertained since the beginning. I have no complaints about this movie whatsoever.
Maybe I need a drink. Maybe I just need to start
lots of
hitting the
high quality acting, high quality puppets, a story that's an absolute roller coaster. I'm
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, Melvin, gross! Either you're gonna let me use the computer real quick, or I'm gonna tell Mom and Dad that you were looking at facialblasters.com.
It's low, sister.
Okay, Steve. Explain yourself.
What do you mean? I pick a quality film and as friends.
I gotta say, just when I thought this movie went and couldn't do anything right, suddenly in the last 15 minutes, it's turned itself around.
I will say the actor playing this role. I mean, he's good. He's good. I'll give him that.
All right, minutes 45 to 60. All right, so it picks up, and the dolls are trying to get into this Halloween party, and the woman that answers the door just like throws some candy at the doll and shuts the door. And the doll walks back to the other two dolls. He's like, "Oh man, I didn't get her soul." And one of the dolls says, "Don't worry, I got an idea." And so he goes and knocks on the door again, and he walks inside the house and fucking suicide bombs them. And so the whole house just fucking explodes.
The CG is so bad. It is so bad.
CG is your problem?
It's all my problem, but man, it's just pushing me over the edge. I mean, I
want to give this movie genuine props because there was a point where I got really scared. I was like, "Oh no, this movie's about to get like genuinely like not like haha problematic, but like oh fuck, this isn't fun anymore problematic." Where it's the old fucking cop guy and the reporter woman outside of the old factory. I'm almost like, "Oh no, this is about to get racist as fuck." But the movie doesn't go there.
Fuck her.
What was that?
Don't worry about it.
I was scared that this movie was gonna like go from fun to like oh man, fuck this. But it
stayed on the fun path.
Yeah, it wisely chose.
I was also worried that it was about to cross a line. Thankfully, it did not. I'm having a great time here. But like Ronin said, after the doll suicide bombs the Halloween party, it cuts to the factory where Fat Sheriff and his deputy are wandering around. They don't find anything. They go outside, and a news reporter is trying to do a story on missing teens. The cop, of course, doesn't like this, tries to tase her. They end up fighting, and then dolls attack, and it cuts away. So then finally, Mark and Kay and Melvin, they find the other survivor of the opening shots of this film. He relates the story to them in a very colorful way while threatening.
That's a good way to describe it.
The movie corporate lingo would be in a very urban manner.
Yes, there are references to the hood, and yeah, I'm not going to talk a lot about this scene because I don't want to spoil this for the listeners. You got to see this for yourself.
Yeah, you sure do.
Was I crazy? Was that a Halloween 3 mask in the background? Because it looked a lot like we forgot about the stoners.
We did forget about the
stoners. God, the stoners.
This some good shit.
How do you piss? You don't got a genitalia. You a fucking doll.
Man, I'm too fucked up to answer questions like that. Don't be fucking talk to me like that. Just let me smoke.
So it's after after the house blows up, but before the factory scene, it just cuts to these two random stoners, and one guy is like, yeah, like my cat started shitting in my shoe. He shit in one shoe and threw up a hairball in the other. And the other guy's like, "Oh man, cats do that. My cat started shitting around the house, and I just started shitting around the house too. So I'm gonna have to clean it up anyway, right? Yeah. So you ever stuck a squirrel up your ass and then a doll burst through the window?" and the doll sees their bong, and the two stoners are like, "Oh, he wants to smoke, right? You want to smoke, doll?" And the doll's like, "Yeah." And so the two stoners and the doll hang out, and the doll is just getting wasted, and he's like, yeah, apparently the doll's name is Reggie. He's like, "Reggie's not here for killing, Reggie's here for chilling."
Reggie don't feel like killing, Reggie just feel like chilling.
I was really gonna kill both of you and take your souls back to the master. But hey, Reggie feels like chilling, not killing.
Matt, thoughts?
What the fuck am I doing right now? That's my thoughts. Like, I have no thoughts right now.
It's fucking great. All right, so let's talk about like the last segment where they're getting the backstory from is it I think Darius Grumley, I think is his name. He's got like an old beard right now because for Halloween he decided to go with Santa Claus, but he used permanent glue to put like the white Santa hair and beard on his face. So he's got this obviously fake old man hair on his head, but with a built-in explanation in the movie. So they covered their bases. But he tells them about the Yegor, the Russian guy that owns the doll factory, who presumably is the master. And dolls attack. Dolls surround the house, and so Grumley just tries to escape. He's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Makes some more colorful comments like, yo, mouth, my dick. He starts making a gobbling motion.
Say I laughed during that because it was so. It was like, what the fuck? Almost in like I cannot believe they went there sort of way. I did laugh at that. This actor's good. This actor's good. I can't deny he is very good at what he's trying to do here.
This guy's great. So he tries to just leave Mark and Melvin and Kay there and just gonna do his own thing. But of course the dolls have the house surrounded. And so he opens the door and he has like a machine gun that he cocks like a shotgun for like no fucking reason. And then he just starts blowing the dolls away, and now presumably Mr. Grumley and our three teenage heroes are about to take the fight to the dolls. They recognize that Mr. Grumley is the only one left who can still read and interpret the Necronama puppet, and so they need him to help. And now our four heroes are about to go back to the factory, presumably, and try to undo the spell that awoken the dolls. All this checks out. Like, the continuity is solid. Like, the movie is following its own rules. It's internally consistent with itself. I have no complaints. This movie has been great.
It's got better
Great
writing than Boba Fett
start
or
to finish.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And Matt is just over there being a killjoy because he's upset that he didn't pick this. He can't take credit for it.
Yeah, I'm real upset.
I gotta say, up until this last 15-minute section, I was on Team Matt. Like, what the fuck is? I can't believe.
Thank you.
Like I said, it turned itself around.
I will tell you, I will say this is probably the most entertaining of the 15 minutes that we've seen so far. I'm not into stoner comedy. I just don't find stoner comedy funny.
You don't find comedy funny.
That's true.
I've been around enough. I've been around enough stoners to know that, like, when they get good and high, they get really friendly, exactly like those two guys. And the mindset is just, if someone comes in, it doesn't matter if it's a talking puppet or whatever. It's puff pass.
What Ronin is trying to say is this movie is steeped in realism. It's very grounded.
Capture the authenticity of stoner culture. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't believe I have such fucking anti-fun friends.
I'm pretty sure they have a Silver Shamrock Happy Halloween mask on the back of their wall.
It's very possible.
Yeah,
the opening credits, we didn't mention the title of the movie was like Friday the 13th Part 3 3D when it comes right out and shatters the glass. So there's all kinds of references to previous horror films in this.
And it's great. Everything about this movie is great. This is a solid fucking winner. Another positive movie right here on the Stevecast.
Okay, we start the next 15 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play!
I split you in two, huh? I like the little boys on the ground. Okay, boy, go ahead and run. Run!
Wow. Wow.
I can't believe they fucked it up so badly.
This is not good, Steve. This is not good.
This is great. This is absolutely fucking great.
And this is great. This is not great.
No. It was great. It was great when the puppets were out having fun doing stupid shit. But now we've got like weirdo McRussian dude, and I was so hyped up. It's like the players have assembled. Oh shit! There's like an army of dolls. This is some Avengers level shit we got going. Just no.
Let me tell you why you're wrong. All right, so let me explain. Let me explain these last 15 minutes. So, Ron is right. The heroes assemble. So, Grumly, Kay, Mark, and Melvin, they all go to the doll factory. They run into the sheriff who...
Love that you know the names of these characters.
I'm invested in Doll Factory, motherfucker.
I can see that.
These four characters go to the doll factory and they run into the sheriff, and the sheriff and Grumly reunite. They recognize each other, and so they go inside and they see just like an army of dolls, like 100 dolls, just on the ground, just kind of like staring there. And so the heroes have to call time out to huddle up and come up with a plan. The plan ends up being they just challenge the dolls and fight them. And so Sheriff and Grumly tell the kids, go find the book and we will handle it. And of course, the sheriff immediately dies because he gets stabbed in the leg. He runs out of ammo. His hands are held down by dolls. And then two other dolls saw his motherfucking head off with a piece of barbed wire.
They were really proud of that prop because that's the exact same kill that happened early on to like the blonde chick.
Don't care.
They were really proud of that prop. Had to get their money's worth out of it.
So the kids and Grumly go off to try to find the book, and they meet Yegor, whatever the hell his name is. And I will admit, Yegor is not as cool as he should be. He is just like a zombie. He is just a zombie in a trench coat.
He is a very bad Beetlejuice ripoff. He is just standing there, and I'm like, what? Because I'm hyped up. I'm expecting this to be some giant, big, terrible doll suit, and it just isn't.
Yeah,
and it
really
sucks the energy out of the room.
Yegor is 100% a letdown. Like they should have done something different, something better with this character. It's probably the only nitpick I have of this movie so far. They should have done something better. So they have some dialogue. Mark, the douchebag boyfriend guy, challenges Yegor to a fight. He immediately loses, but Yegor uses the opportunity to eat Kay's soul, which may or may not kill her. I'm not entirely sure because she was moving.
Look like it.
She was moving around a little bit, but then she pukes on Mark, and then maybe she died after that. But anyway, so it cuts back to Grumly and Melvin. And Grumly is trying to be like, we got to get out of here. And Melvin's like, no, fuck this. I'm tired of running it. So he pulls out a fucking sword. He got the sword. Like, the sword's been in the movie since the character of Melvin was introduced. But we haven't actually talked about it yet. Yeah, since the iconic facial blaster scene. But we haven't talked about it because he hasn't done anything with it. But now he's like, fuck this. I'm going to go down fighting. He says, I don't want to die a virgin. And so Yegor says, like, fine, I'll fuck you before I kill you. But they end up having, let me say this. Let me pause to give this the amount of gravitas that it deserves.
Jesus Christ, here we go.
Yegor shoots a lightsaber out of his dick, and there is a motherfucking sword fight in the middle of Doll Factory. Immediately pulled me back into the film.
I see your Schwartz is almost as big as mine.
They 100% did the Spaceballs bit with the lightsaber coming out of the dick, but still, there is a motherfucking sword fight at the end of this movie, and it is glorious. So now
Yegor, it really sucks. Glorious. Do anything clever with it.
100% glorious, but Yegor is distracted, and so now Grumly has the book and presumably is about to save the day. I don't know what is wrong with you two. This movie is great.
I feel like I can't trust a word that you'll ever say ever again about anything. You can't honestly think this is good. This is terrible.
This movie has been entertaining from start to finish.
I can grant you that someone of your disposition would really enjoy the first hour of this movie. I can understand how. You cannot tell me this 15 minutes was good. This sword fight was terrible. Absolutely
A
terrible.
movie about killer fucking dolls. This is awesome. This is so unexpected, and I laughed out loud in a good way when this happened, and that is the reaction that this scene is supposed to be getting from me. This movie has achieved its goal here. This is not a movie to be taken seriously. This is a movie to be had to have fun with, and the movie has caused me to have fun. Therefore, it is a success.
Ronin?
I want to say Steve is right in that this is a dumb movie, and like you're supposed to be having fun with it. At the very least, like the actor who's playing Mark, he understands the movie that he's in, and so does Griswold or whatever his name is.
Grimley.
Yeah, they understand the movie that they're in, and they're having fun with it. But this has been a huge letdown so far, considering how that last segment, I was like so on board. I was like, okay, I'm finally down with this fucking puppet charade. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see how this all comes together. It's like that's the problem. They're not doing anything funny or creative here. He's just swinging his like dick saber around, and they're not doing anything fun with it.
Dick saber.
He's not even like fighting with. Like, it would be one thing if the saber was attached to his dick still, and he was swinging around with that. But it just turns into a lightsaber, and he's got it.
It's the Schwartz from Spaceballs.
It's bad.
No,
I understand that's what it is, but they're not doing anything funny with it. Like the Schwartz from Spaceballs, that just so happened to have been because of the way they were holding them, and then it turns into a hypothetical dick measuring contest. That's not happening here.
No,
Are you telling me that there's not Mel Brooks level comedy here, Ronin? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
There's not. There's not even like knockoff Kevin Smith level humor.
There is a random sword fight in the middle of our killer doll movie. That is inherently funny.
I disagree strongly with that statement.
Well, this isn't your fucking show, so I win.
Yeah, I'm back on Team Matt right now.
That's a stupid team to be in. I wouldn't know. You're both fucking Matts. Steve against the world over here. Doll Factory, proudly.
Okay, so we are at the last. We've gone through an hour and 15. There's probably a little less than 10 minutes, I assume, with the credits. Who knows? Maybe there'll be an after-credit scene for Doll Factory. I don't know. Is there a Doll Factory 2? Should we look?
I hope so.
How do we think this is going to all end? Ronin, I'll throw it to you. Are there any dolls? I don't even know if there are any dolls left. Did they kill all the dolls? I mean,
I don't even know what happened to the dolls. The dolls were there, they charge, and then the dolls disappear once we establish that the master is just like a bad Beetlejuice costume, and like all the dolls have gone. So like the source of all the comedy, because they were finally starting to win me over. Like the source of all the funniness, that's all gone now, and we're just left with this dude who, at the very least, again, I give him props. He understands the movie he's in, so he's playing this up. He understands what he's doing. I give him some props for that, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, no, all the creativity is gone at this point. So I just assume that he's going to. I assume that they're going to open up the book, they're going to do the chant thing. Like that's going to be it. It's probably at this point I'm now back into total letdown mode. It's not going to have some hilarious great thing. It's going to tie all this up in a wonderful bow. This is going to just end badly.
Okay, so Steve, obviously this is one of your favorite films of all time. How do you feel? How do you feel this is going to end?
I don't know. Like, this movie is like a Roddy Pipering movie. Every time I think the answers, it changes the question.
Oh my God!
Cream of the crop rises to the top.
This character that you're playing right now, stop it! It's terrible. Don't play this character anymore, Steve. It's driving me fucking crazy over here.
I am 100% on board with this movie.
I'm losing my grasp on reality over here, and you don't seem to care about it.
Matt, thank you for picking this. I am so happy with your selection.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I mean, let's get to the last, 5-6 minutes of Doll Factory, and then maybe it'll bring me back around. Maybe the last 5 minutes will make me reflect on what I've been missing for the previous
Should be reflecting.
75 minutes. We will start this in 5, 4, 3, 2, fuck you.
Fuck off! You know, a young lady such as yourself shouldn't be using such nasty language.
Yeah? Fuck you!
All right. The ending sucked, like the rest of the movie. Steve, you want to try to defend that travesty that we just witnessed?
It did something that we were not expecting. We expected what you guys said was just Grumley would read the Necronoma puppet, and then Igor would just go away. But it did something that I was not expecting. Reading the Necronoma puppet did not just make Igor disappear, it actually empowered Melvin, and so now Melvin also has a lightsaber to fight Igor with.
How the fuck did that happen? Because I thought Igor wrote the fucking book. So you mean to tell me that not only did he write the evil book that, started all this, but he also wrote in there like a character flaw on how to kill himself?
The Necronomicon from Evil Dead contains passages to like stop the Deadites and control them too. Like, if it's a problem in this movie, it's a problem in Evil Dead.
Yes, it is.
All right, so Ronin now says Evil Dead sucks. I don't know how else to interpret that.
Oh, God.
So, anyways, they have a lightsaber battle, and Melvin wins, and Igor starts like the souls in his body start escaping, like the end of Mortal Kombat when Shang Tsung is like losing his powers, and so Melvin cuts Igor's head off, and then this giant like soul NATO, like also out of Mortal Kombat, like explodes out of the building. Also very similar to like the containment unit getting shut down in Ghostbusters. So all of the souls escape. Igor is dead and gone. These Force ghosts show up and start like thanking the kids, and then they summon Kay's soul back down, and so the four heroes have made it. They have survived. What a great ending.
All right, so first of all, here's how you're wrong. First of all, Melvin, Malcolm, whatever the fuck his name is, he doesn't have a lightsaber fight with Igor. He just suddenly gets like the He-Man power, lifts the sword up in the air, and then cuts dude head off. There is no lightsaber exchange. This movie doesn't have that kind of money. It's just a simple, I have the power, chop, dead. Boom, fight is now over.
Everything Steve has said about this, Ronin, has been lies. Everything he said tonight has been lies.
Has been great. I have enjoyed this movie from start to finish. You two are anti-fun, and you just can't help nitpicking things. This movie is better than Obi-Wan.
I was totally on board. There was a point, all right? We have that recording. You and I, same side. This movie became incredibly fun. And then it just ran out of fun. Where's the fun? It's fucking gone. That's what happened to it. I don't know where they
left
took it.
with the dolls. The dolls, like the last 15 minutes of this movie, the dolls just disappear. It's like they ran out of budget for dolls.
And also, Steve, I want to hear your fucking explanation for how it is that we don't get a call back to fucking Reggie. All right, Explain that shit to me right now.
Yeah,
I can't. This movie sucked.
Yeah, it's bad.
You tweet that motherfucker. You get on your Twitter or whatever.
Tweet him.
And you tell that motherfucker. I want to know what happened to Reggie.
All right, I'll do that.
What happened to Reggie? Where's the sequel starring Reggie? You've got to go there. Let me see what this guy has done since Doll Factory. TV series, The Actor's Corner. All right, that's nothing. Evil Deeds, Full Circle. Segment, Dracula's Coffin. So that must be an anthology of sorts. And a bunch of short films. So he has done, this is the last feature film he's done. It's 2014. Good. He did, it looks like a feature called Midnight Abyss. I don't know if that's on Tubi or not. But yeah, this guy has kind of stopped making
Well, he went out on top.
You get on there, you get on your Twitters, and you let this motherfucker know that I'm coming for him. And hell's coming with me. You understand? Hell's coming with me. I want to know what happened to Reggie.
I tweeted him, "Where's the sequel with Reggie?" We'll see if he replies, but no one ever replies to us. We're not important enough.
Steve, you just got to convince him. Like, I mean, I would get on board with making a sequel about Reggie, and I don't even like the movie.
Reggie and not Jay and not Bob.
God, yeah. I mean, in all truthfulness, this was an awful movie to watch for me. Like, I hated this movie. I wasn't even playing a character doing this thing. I fucking hated this movie. Everything about this movie. I take it back. I laughed once when Grumley says the dick in the mouth thing and does his movement. That was funny.
To be fair, Matt only laughs once at any comedy that he watches.
True. So maybe that means it's a good comedy for me. I don't know. But man, this was painful. This was painful. Do you think here? This is a question that I sort of came to mind because it does have very similar sorts of themes. Like Charles Band does the Evil Bong movies, and I think he has 8 of them now. So if you want to see a puppet franchise filled with stoner comedy, watch all those Evil Bong movies by Charles Band. But do you think that this movie would have benefited if the dolls hadn't all looked basically the same? Do you think they should have had multiple different looking dolls, or were you fine with sort of all of them being the same?
I was fine with them all being the same thing.
Yeah, wrong. You're wrong.
I mean, there's two ways you can do it. You can do it like the movie did, where it's just like this army of dispensable puppets. Think Critters. How all the critters in Critters are grim. They look the same. Gremlins, they're mostly the same except for the one with the mohawk. But so you can either do that, or you can have fewer puppets who look different and have the distinct personalities. So you got the two options.
But guys, they only had 27 cents in the puppet budget.
Very true. I don't know what else to say about this movie, to be completely honest. Here's what I will say. I enjoyed Steve's enjoyment of it. Even though I think I learned something about him tonight that I didn't know before, that he's a filthy fucking liar. I can't trust him. Can't trust him anymore. But here's the thing. These sorts of things are always fun to do, in my opinion. I will never, ever forget the line, "I'm invested in Doll Factory, motherfucker." I'll never forget that. That's going to stick with me for the rest of my fucking life. And you said it with such authority, too. I was quite taken aback.
I am an actor.
And yeah, I mean, from all future Steve Cash you'll be able to find on facialblasters.com. So feel free to direct, go follow that website. And yeah, hated it. I don't know, Ronin, your final thoughts. I mean, what do you think of Doll Factory?
It started off really painful and bad. It got great for that exactly 15-minute stretch. It got great. I was like, this movie's turning around. The last act of this movie is going to be fucking amazing. It's going to save the whole thing. It's going to be a slow burn. No, it just completely loses steam and goes right back into the shitter. I don't like it.
Are you more interested or less interested to watch future puppet-based films?
I mean, watching bad movies and then insulting them is always a fun time. So, but I mean, specifically doll movies, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I almost feel like this could be its own series on Outpost Unknown. Just
all movies. Of the best episodes of the Stevecast were the puppet things that we did. The various Puppet Master films. I think we watched 2 basically Puppet Master versus zombie films, and then we watched Baby Oopsie, and now we can add this to the legend of Outpost Unknown versus Puppets. There are enough puppet movies on Tubi that we could program this show for years with just puppet stuff.
That is very true.
That will become our YouTube market niche. We will review the puppet movies.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, Steve, clearly you had a great time. I'm glad you had a great time. And you want to take us out?
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the latest episode of Stevecast, where we watched Doll Factory, and it was greatly enjoyed by all 3 of us at the end.
Fuck you.
You're a fucking liar.
Fucking liar.
I am invested.